So this is just like a random fun story that I find funny is that right before I got on here, I like noticed that my messy bun twist thing, my hair needs to be washed. Anyways, it was like really low and it made me look totally bald. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna like lift it up a little bit and like see if it looks like I have some hair. And now it's just doing its own thing. So I tried. We're gonna have a random sprawl today, and it's all good. Hi, if this is your first time seeing me, my name is Janae. Whoop. My name is Janae. I was just trying to see if my video was popping up in the right place or not. And I help women who are transitioning from employee to entrepreneurship, who are feeling a lack of confidence and have not developed a healthy money mindset to be able to actually be successful in that space. So I love to help them create their own version of success. And that's just kind of like how I nerd out. If you're watching me on YouTube and you love this topic and you want to know a lot more about it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can be notified whenever new videos come on. I will let you know that I do videos here every Monday and Wednesday. They're like 6:30-ish, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you're watching somewhere that is not YouTube and you're like, hey, I want to like binge watch some videos because that's what I do, no judgment here, then go ahead and hop on over to YouTube so that you can like check out some stuff that I've done in the past. I will say that abundance and confidence are some of the big topics that I've been talking about recently. So like you will have ample stuff to go through. Cool. Are you ready for today's topic? I'm really excited. Also, it looks like I'm going live in the right places. So, also, while you're watching this, if you have any comments, you want to chime in, or you have questions, definitely go ahead and drop those in the chat, and I will be able to see them and pull them up. I've been working with some new tech, so I'm really excited to be able to like put people's comments up on screen. So seriously, whatever question, comment that you have, just drop in the chat. Okay. Today, I want to talk about, do you have a mind for abundance yet? And I will tell you a personal, I guess, like kind of pet peeve that I have about when abundance comes up in a topic is like, I feel like it has this somewhat taboo stigma to it because people always associate it with dollars. And even if I go into dollars here for a second as like a topic of like, why are people so uncomfortable talking about money? Let's chat about that. So I feel like when it comes to money, and let me know what you think about this, I'd love to dive into it more, is that it is money can make someone good, money can make someone bad. Those are like the most common money blocks, something like related to that thing that I hear. When in fact, money, dollars, all of that, those are simply tools. I do agree that they will amplify what someone already is, but it's really important that if we are striving for something, that we do not stigmatize the thing that we are trying to attain in terms of a goal, because what we're doing is something about the way your mind works, your subconscious mind specifically. So the part of your mind that is responsible for your behaviors, your patterns, your habits, the thoughts that you have, like those instantaneous thoughts before you can have like a logical, rational thought, which is your conscious mind. That part will make sure to keep you safe. So if you have stigmatized something, it's literally going to be almost I'm just going to flat out say it's going to be impossible for you to attain that goal because like you have already told yourself, I don't approve of either the people who have it or whatever story I have created around that. Therefore, it will make it not possible for you. All that to say, that was a little trail on abundance and money things, because I feel like it's really important that we kind of like check ourselves, to be completely honest. And like, what is it that we are saying about other people? Because it's really hard in our mind's eye to distinguish what we are saying about other people for it not to be like us pretty much using self-talk on ourselves. So just something to be aware of. But today I really want to talk about like, do you have a mind for abundance yet? And in order to like jump into that topic, I wanted to use an example that I think can be a good one to just kind of like distinguish, like, what does this actually look like? And then I'll kind of let you know something that I use that's super simple of kind of like, how am I looking at what is happening currently from one or two places? And there are a couple different like words, easy trigger things that you can look at in order to do so. So for this example, I want to like put you in the position. Say that you just launched this phenomenal course. It's something that you were super pumped about, and you like spent this time. You put it together. You like poured your soul into it. You launched it, and it flopped. Okay, so after that happens, there are one or two ways that you can take in terms of act. There's two paths you can go down. On one path, you have, man, I am not a good course creator. This did not work out for me. It literally wasn't meant to be. These are stories you could be telling yourself that you will never have your time back from the effort that you put in. And it's literally not even paying out the way you thought it would. This is a state of being essentially powerless to the surroundings, the circumstances that you have. You, at that point, are choosing to be in effect. And I'm just going to be super candid here. You're choosing to be in effect. It's a place of scarcity, it's a place of lack. Or, different scenario, you just launched the course. It flopped. It didn't go as well as it wanted. Maybe it didn't sell. You were super pumped about the launch, all these things. And you decided, like, hey, let me figure out what went wrong to improve this for next time. This is an example that I can use for someone else in the future to help them create success as well. What is it that specifically did not work, and what should I do better next time? Or let me change my copy. Let me change something about the way that I did this in order to make it better. When you come at it from that state, that is what I would call abundance. I would call that an abundance mindset. And I want you to think about how those two different versions would show up when it came to the next launch. One would probably be anxious, nervous, that like the same thing is going to happen again and it's not going to work again. On the other side, it could be like, I'm excited to like share. I'm excited to be able to come at this from a completely different angle. And you have to think, like, if you are your own customer, like, who exactly would you be choosing to work with? Right? And so when you are choosing that state, that mindset of abundance, it really is about putting ourselves at cause. And what that means is like empowering ourselves in that position of like, hey, what happened to me? I am not powerless. Yes, I have things to learn from the situation, but now I'm able to come and I know what not to do next time. I can ask for feedback. I can pivot. I can be vulnerable. It's so important to be able to pivot, especially when you are moving into a new space that doesn't feel super, super comfortable, because all that means is that you are growing, you are learning, you are literally expanding who you are at the core of it, right? So, the way that I think of this and what I would literally boil this whole thing down to is, I said cause and effect already, right? So you can ask yourself, when something happens, when you start to react, are you being at cause or are you being at effect? Is this something that's happening to you, or is it something that you also have a choice to make of like how you choose to respond back? I also think of this as, when you are not in an abundance mindset, it feels like failure. People will call it failure. They may use that word or some other word, but that's literally what it shows up as. When you're in an abundance mindset, it's feedback. It's something that I learned in my NLP and all the training that I went through. It's like, it is not failure. You are just getting feedback. Hey, when something doesn't go exactly as planned, it's a sign like, hey, what can I change about this thing? What do I need to pivot on? What could be better for next time? It's an opportunity for us to grow as people, as entrepreneurs, as all of those things. And this can literally be applied to anything. I gave the example of like a course creation. It could literally be like, oh my gosh, my car had a flat. And this is bad for all of these reasons. And then it can be like, okay, I guess I, need to slow down. Maybe I need to get my car checked next time. Or like not sway on the highway where there's nails. Like it could be a lot of different things. So like the example I picked is literally just like one pulled out of thin air. But the fact is, abundance mindset has so much more reach than just dollars. I think like talking about dollars and wealth is amazing, and we could talk about that too. But it's also just like this general state of how you show up in your life, how you face the things that don't go as planned. Because let's face it, we all have things that are happening that aren't exactly what we intended going out. Like if all of my plans that I ever created worked out perfectly, it would be like, holy cow, like, so many things would be different. But there's also so many amazing things that came from plans that didn't really go originally as I thought they would. So there's that. Also, I totally just ranted at you. So congrats on making it through that. So let me know what your questions are in the chat. And if I see them later, I will definitely come back and answer it, or answer it in another video. But I hope that this was like helpful, and it just gives you like something to think about. Like, are you focused on your failure, or are you looking at those circumstances as feedback? And how are you going to take that into your life? How is that going to enable you to show up differently? And ultimately, like, that should put you in a state of feeling really, really powerful about what you're doing and what you have to offer. Because let's face it, what we have done and the way things have played out have nothing to do with the worth that we have. It has nothing to do with like who we are as people. It's literally just a circumstance. And the like amazing part about us still being here, living, breathing humans, is that we have the ability to pivot. We have the ability to change things. So yes, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I would love to know. I would love to know if this is something that you have been working on, if it's something that you're like, hey girl, I need more help on this, all of those things. And I will see